Good evening, I'm Ian Hanomansing. Tonight, from many Indigenous voices, anger and disappointment at Justin Trudeau.
This shows us survivors that his words don't match his actions.
Today's new developments. Also tonight, COVID-19 measures in Saskatchewan.
It broke my heart seeing him like that. It was rough.
Individual stories show what's at stake. How businesses are coping with provincial vaccine passports.
And you have that one or two people that will be very confrontational, they'll be screaming, they'll try videotaping.
Our panel goes behind the headlines.
You are here at the sign of a moment.
And it's Broadway's moment to reopen.
Well, just to see performers on a live stage again took my breath away.
A Canadian blockbuster leads the way.
Welcome to the Rock!
This is The National. The criticism of the Prime Minister continues on this Friday night for starting a vacation yesterday on Canada's first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Justin Trudeau's official schedule for Thursday listed private meetings in Ottawa, but then it was revealed that he had flown to Tofino, British Columbia to be with his family. And that unleashed a storm of questions about his judgment and his commitment to reconciliation. Ashley Burke tracks the reaction tonight.
On Parliament Hill today, the memorial for victims of residential schools remains. And so do questions about why the Prime Minister skipped out on the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation here.
Actions speak louder than words, and his actions spoke very, very loudly.
A lot of people, I think, look up to him or care about what he has to say, so he should have been here just for that.
Thousands were here to honor lost children and survivors of residential schools. On a day all about symbolism, Trudeau was seen with his wife on a beach in Tofino.
This just shows us survivors that he doesn't actually want to meet with us. He's just, hoping that we will just disappear into the sunset.
Evelyn Korkmaz has suffered abuse and was here with 2 busloads of fellow St. Anne residential school survivors. Trudeau's office said he spent hours on the phone yesterday hearing from 8 residential school survivors.
It's harder to reflect on the truth.
On Wednesday evening, he spoke on Parliament Hill, urging Canadians to honor and embrace the new National Day of Reflection.
It's like celebrating Remembrance Day or reflecting on Remembrance Day on November the 10th rather than November the 11th.
Others point out Trudeau flew to BC without stopping in Kamloops. The discovery of graves there pushed the horror of residential schools back into the spotlight. The chief sent 2 invitations to Trudeau.
I did hold out hopes that he would be here today.
But not all Indigenous people are critical.
It's his days off with his family. Give him a break.
The opposition today questioning Trudeau's judgment over the timing of his travel.
I think apology is necessary because Indigenous people have given something, a really difficult part of themselves, to Canadians, to the country. And our top official wasn't there to listen.
So, Ashley, what did the Prime Minister's office say about this today?
Well, Ian, no word from Trudeau himself, who is still in Tofino spending time with his family. But his office said officials spoke to the chief in Kamloops, and they're making arrangements for the Prime Minister to visit the community in the near future.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
Turning to the pandemic, there is some good news. The number of vaccinations appears to be picking up again.
These vaccine requirements in provinces seem to have nudged people to take up the vaccine.
Consider Alberta. Now, it could be a coincidence or any number of factors, but the province announced vaccine passports in mid-September, and average daily vaccinations increased immediately. Saskatchewan announced its plans for passports at almost the same time and has also seen an uptick. Alberta's proof of vaccination rules kicked in last week, Saskatchewan's today, and as Bonnie Allen shows us, it comes at a critical time.
The shaky first steps of a vaccine passport system, either by QR code or the low-tech wallet card, earning access to restaurants, bars, and other non-essential businesses.
I feel safer.
I feel like people are going way overboard right now.
It's a requirement for customers, but not for the people who work here. That's up to each private employer.
I would prefer the staff would be required to do that as well.
The government was reluctant to introduce any kind of vaccine passport system, but hospitals are overwhelmed by hundreds of COVID patients, most of them unvaccinated. 5-year-old Maverick Bennett spent a week in hospital. His mother now remorseful she didn't get the shot.
It broke my heart seeing him like that. It was rough. I really regret not getting vaccinated. It was a big mistake. I should have got vaccinated.
The ICU pressure from COVID means all organ transplants have been halted. Jessica Bailey was about to get a new kidney.
It's basically like getting told, oh, you're going to get your life back, and then it gets ripped out from underneath you.
We're providing offers of assistance in our discussions with Saskatchewan and Alberta for health human resources, PPE, medical equipment, vaccines, testing, and anything else.
Unlike Alberta, Saskatchewan had only requested more rapid tests, not manpower. All week, pressure has been mounting.
Why would we reject help from our federal government when our healthcare system is in the worst shape it's ever been in the history of this province?
Finally, yesterday, the Premier said he will ask for boots on the ground.
Very specific and highly trained individuals that could support us in our ICU capacity here in the province. That list has not yet been submitted.
Healthcare workers have 2 weeks to get their shots. Today, officials revealed 1 in 5 are not vaccinated. Bonnie Allen, CBC News, Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan.
And it's not just Saskatchewan where COVID is pushing the health system beyond its limit. Erin Collins shows us a cancer patient in Edmonton who urgently needs surgery on her face. It was scheduled, then it was cancelled. She is vaccinated, but at the mercy of the fourth wave.
Snapshots of better times, ones where Sharon Durham's smile was the focus of photographs, a stark contrast to the picture today. Durham's cancer now impossible to miss and spreading fast.
If I don't get the surgery, it's going to be going into my brain and my eye.
That surgery scheduled for this week, canceled as Durham drove out from Saskatchewan because of Alberta's overwhelmed healthcare system. The 54-year-old left in limbo.
I don't know. It's such an invasive cancer. I hope this next surgery gets it all. It's just because it's insidious. It creeps around, right?
Across Alberta, similar scenes are playing out. The province's ICUs jammed with COVID patients, forcing the cancellation of surgeries, a result of the province opening too quickly this summer, according to some experts.
We can see that given the high case count that's happening in Alberta, that it really didn't work, that it was a mistake.
For his part, Alberta's premier says he's focused on the future, not the past.
I'm not interested in the blame game. I'm just interested in us getting through this, supporting our healthcare workers, increasing the vaccine rates, reducing transmission while we increase capacity. That's our focus.
Many Alberta doctors are calling for a strict lockdown to free up ICU spaces, but the province says that isn't in their plans. So for now, at least, the situation in Alberta's ICUs will likely persist, frustrating patients inside and outside the province.
It's awful because I'm not an angry person, and I've become so angry with the unvaccinated, with our government.
Some help is on the way for Alberta's ICUs. Personnel from the Canadian Armed Forces and the Red Cross could arrive at any time. It's good news, but no comfort for the growing line of people waiting to access the province's healthcare system. Erin Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
And a hopeful development on this tonight. Sharon Durham has learned that her surgery has been rescheduled for next week. Manitoba is bringing in new rules, mostly targeting unvaccinated people.
This is a very significant lockdown on the unvaccinated.
Starting Tuesday, indoor gatherings that involve anyone who is unvaccinated will be limited to 2 households. Outdoors, there'll be a limit of 10 for such gatherings.
It was a matter of time once we had the data that we presented on Tuesday to look at what are the important measures that we need to do.
In BC, masks will now be mandatory for all students K-12 starting next week. Until today, the rule had only included students in grade 4 and up. BC has seen a spike in COVID cases among children.
They have until November 15th to show proof that they've received 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine.
Ontario is making vaccination mandatory for anyone working in long-term care homes. Fully vaccinated staff, caregivers, and visitors will also start getting randomly tested. The current policy requires workers to either be vaccinated or undergo regular testing. A Quebec coroner has concluded that racism and prejudice played a part in Joyce Echaquan's death in a Quebec hospital 1 year ago. Alison Northcott with what the coroner says needs to happen now.
Joyce Echaquan's family knew her as a loving mother of 7 devoted to her community. But many know her as the woman who live-streamed hospital staff hurling racist insults at her. Without that, coroner Jeanne Kamel says her death likely wouldn't have grabbed attention. Kamel says Echaquan's care was tainted by prejudice from the start. Mistakenly labeled a drug addict by staff, she was sedated and restrained when she became agitated and not properly monitored. Echaquan's death was ruled accidental, but Kamel says it could have been prevented. Ms. Echaquan was indeed ostracized, and her death was directly related to the care she received during her hospitalization, Kamel wrote. The racism and prejudice that Ms. Echaquan faced certainly contributed to her death. The coroner's top recommendation for Quebec to recognize systemic racism exists in its institutions.
Saying that the Quebec government needs to recognize there is systemic racism here in Quebec, those words resonate in my heart or in my spirit.
The Legault government has repeatedly denied systemic racism exists in Quebec. Today, the deputy premier said they are looking at the report.
I will see the precise words that are used and the recommendation for itself, but we are in action. We want to fight racism.
We should state and name the problem.
Dr. Stanley Volant is an Innu surgeon in Montreal who testified at the inquiry. He hopes the government will change its position.
It doesn't mean that people of Quebec are racist. That just means the systems have been contaminated by colonialism for 150 years.
The premier won't comment on the report until next week when the coroner formally presents her findings. Joyce Echaquan's family is expected to respond to it then too. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
2 significant developments in the story of former fashion mogul Peter Nygard. He's sitting in a Manitoba jail, accused in the U.S. of sex trafficking and racketeering. In court today, the case for his extradition moved another step, just as news spread that he now also faces charges here in Canada. Caroline Bargout takes us through it all.
Morning.
The United States wants Peter Nygard extradited to New York. He's been in custody for 9 months and today appeared by video in a Manitoba court. CBC News and other media outlets won the right to have cameras in the courtroom for the hearing.
This is the case of the United States versus Nygard.
Nygard agreed to fast-track the extradition process, sending his case straight to Canada's Minister of Justice, who will decide if he should be surrendered to the U.S.
You will not be surrendered until the expiry of 30 days, and that you have the right to appeal the order that's now been granted, and you also have the contemporaneous right to apply for judicial interim release or bail. Do you understand that? Yes, I do.
His lawyers say what happened today is not an admission of guilt.
Mr. Nygard denies any allegations of criminal conduct.
While Nygard was in court, news broke that the Toronto Police Service had issued an arrest warrant for him on 9 charges of sexual assault and forcible confinement related to 6 accusers, the only Canadian charges he's facing. Last year, 8 women came forward to Winnipeg Police, but so far, no charges have been laid.
To learn that the Toronto police and court system found 6 victims in Toronto to be more credible and charge-worthy than the 8 Winnipeg victims is a disgrace.
Winnipeg police say they sent their case file to Crown prosecutors in December to review for possible charges. Manitoba Justice won't say if it's looking into it or if the case is now closed. As for the extradition, it's now up to the federal justice minister to decide if Nygard should be sent to the U.S. and whether or not he should answer to the Toronto charges first. Either way, it's likely months before a decision is made. In the meantime, Nygard can once again apply for bail. Caroline Bargout, CBC News, Winnipeg.
1 week ago this hour, Michael Spavor and Michael Kovrig were on a plane headed home. Today, Spavor shared this photo with Canadians and a statement. "I'm overjoyed to be finally reunited with my family. It's humbling as I begin to understand the continued support that we've received from Canadians and those around the world. Thank you. I'm appreciating being outside and the simple things around me." He and Kovrig were imprisoned in China for nearly 3 years in apparent retaliation for the arrest of Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou. Police in London, Ontario say an investigation hasn't found support for allegations of sexual violence at Western University. Recent posts on social media claimed dozens of women had been drugged and sexually assaulted. Police say their investigation will continue.
We already mandate 10 vaccines. In so many ways, this is the most, this is a significant announcement, but it's probably the most predictable announcement.
California is set to become the first U.S. state to mandate COVID vaccinations for school children. That requirement could come early as January once a vaccine is approved for the younger age groups. The mandate would also apply to teachers and school staff. If you get COVID, treatments are limited, but Christine Birak has details on a pill that a pharmaceutical giant says could cut severe illness and death from the virus in half.
It's called Molnupiravir. If approved, this drug would be the first antiviral pill for COVID-19.
The news of the efficacy of this particular antiviral is obviously very good news.
The drug's maker has not submitted its trial data yet, but independent experts recommended halting the study early because the drug appeared to be saving lives. In a news release, Merck announced Molnupiravir reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by approximately 50% when given to patients within 5 days of showing symptoms.
The interest in the Merck antiviral is because of ease of use.
In a global trial, nearly 800 people who tested positive for COVID-19 were given the drug or a placebo. Merck's early data suggests about 7% of those given the drug were hospitalized, but there were no deaths. In the placebo group, around 14% ended up in hospital and 8 people died.
It really could be a game changer because right now, the drugs that we do have to treat COVID-19 typically have to be given by an intravenous infusion.
That includes treatments like remdesivir and monoclonal antibodies.
This drug looks like it is a twice-a-day oral tablet that you can just hand out to people who have been infected.
Experts say the drug works by introducing errors into the virus's genetic code, which stops the virus, including its variants, from replicating inside our cells.
I think a lot of people are going to be very enthusiastic about this drug. But in many ways, compared to vaccine, it's much more experimental and significantly less effective.
Vaccines are up to 90% effective in preventing hospitalization and death from COVID-19. But if a drug like this one is approved, it could cut the number of patients in ICUs by half, something doctors say can't happen soon enough. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
New documents obtained by CBC News show Canada's military had an early warning about COVID-19. But as Murray Brewster explains, some say we need a closer look at what happened next.
Wesley Wark believes we should figure out why Canada's pandemic early warning systems failed, both civilian and military.
It is an enormous failure. We have the capacity and we should have the will to do much better the next time around.
Long before Canadian troops were called to help rescue COVID-infested long-term care homes, early in 2020, the military's medical intelligence was churning out secret briefings. On January 23rd, concerned about what they were seeing in Wuhan, China, commanders began to monitor and plan for a domestic response in Canada.
This coronavirus pandemic is right in their wheelhouse.
Military medical intelligence agencies from Canada, the US, the UK, and Australia, together known as the Quadripartite Medical Intelligence Committee, meet regularly to discuss health threats.
This is part of their core mission to be on the lookout for.
Yet, despite warnings circulating in the Trump administration, many of Canada's later military intelligence assessments on COVID echoed what Canadians were hearing from the civilian health agency, that the risk was low.
They didn't have or didn't use all the information and intelligence at their disposal. And I think, frankly, there's a problem of failure of imagination at work here.
Well, in all honesty, that disappoints me.
After 9/11, federal health, security, and defense officials instinctively knew the threat of a pandemic or a bioweapon.
We had steady communications with the intelligence community.
D&D admits the medical intelligence branch has an important role to play in forecasting infectious disease outbreak. However, the government is still improving the military intelligence capacity, something it promised to do in 2017. Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.
Ontario has a new minimum wage tonight, and it's not going over so well.
So like 10 cents? We have all these problems going on, and you can only offer 10 cents?
Next on The National, the pushback from workers and their bosses. A personal conversation with Jesse Wente about growing up Indigenous and reconciliation in this country.
I'm not sure I have an answer for Canada, and I'm not sure it's my job to have an answer for Canada.
You are here at the sign of a moment.
And Broadway's big comeback in the Big Apple.
The first time I saw it in the theater, it was emotional.
We're back in 2. Welcome back. Canada's highest court has upheld the Ontario law that cut Toronto City Council almost in half during the last municipal election.
This was done wrong. I can well remember sitting in the dark of a night in my office receiving a phone call the night before this legislation was introduced.
The Supreme Court of Canada dismissed the city's appeal in a 5-4 split decision today. It said Doug Ford's government was within its legal power to reduce City Council from 47 to 25 seats a little over 2 months before the vote. Another piece of Ford government legislation kicked in today. Ontario's minimum wage has gone up, but only by 10 cents an hour, an amount some critics call insulting, and that employers say will do nothing to attract desperately needed workers. Thomas Dagla looks into it.
Thank you. For employers selling donuts or anything else, it's a question central to any business model: how much to pay staff. In this industry, the easy answer is often minimum wage, but not here at Donut Monster.
I really want to be able to say that you could build a career, you could support your family.
Heidi Vanderquack ensures her employees make what's known as a living wage, based on a regional formula adjusted to the cost of living. Here in Hamilton, it starts at about $2 more per hour than the minimum wage, the hourly rate often associated with that other donut shop that got its start down the road.
A lot of businesses are choosing to build their structure around what's the least we can pay, instead of what's fair to pay. And the province allows that to happen.
Ontario's Conservative Labour Minister saw her office vandalized in 2018 when the government scrapped a previous Liberal plan for a $15 minimum wage. A new 10-cent increase just came into effect, with the general minimum wage still standing at only $14.35.
People are getting pushed out because they can't afford to live here. What kind of damage is it going to do to us? So 10 cents? We have all these problems going on, and you can only offer 10 cents?
Pandemic-battered retail and hospitality are struggling to find staff, and employers say a 10-cent wage hike won't help. Workers making minimum wage say the same.
It is difficult enough already to live off a minimum wage. If you work 40 hours a week, that's an extra $4 a week. That's not going to make any real difference.
Ontario's Labour Minister this week sidestepped a question on the significance of a 10-cent hike. His answer instead:
we need people to get the training for in-demand jobs that are going to pay more.
For many low-wage earners, the focus remains on just making ends meet. Thomas Dagg, CBC News, Toronto.
And businesses across the country are grappling with another challenge: enforcing vaccine passports.
We didn't want to alienate customers that we've been trying to gain since this whole thing started.
Next, 3 owners from 3 provinces share what they're experiencing at their doors. And later, one man's race to save 7 beached whales off the coast of Newfoundland. Welcome back. Tonight we want to go beyond the headlines and hear from some business owners on the impact of enforcing vaccine passports. proof of vaccination now in effect across the country for customers of what are deemed non-essential services. Every province has a version. Saskatchewan rolling out its today, and how it works depends on where you live.
We already have a check-in process that we would come out, meet members here, go through a temperature check, go through a screening process, and then send them in. So we've kind of just added that on to our already check-in process.
Being short-staffed to begin with, I'm now going to have to designate somebody at my door, probably be me, to be checking IDs and passports.
My counter girls, honestly, were scared. They were very nervous about what if I ask somebody and, there's a confrontation.
So tonight, let's hear directly from 3 business owners in 3 provinces about their experiences so far. Devin Stewart is the chef and owner of Broadway and Grand in Spruce Grove, Alberta. Jeremy Chang is the co-owner of Bamboo Restaurant in Ottawa. And Chris McIntosh, and you can hear the bowling in the background, is the general manager of The Drome, a bowling alley in Fredericton. Welcome to all 3 of you.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks.
And Jeremy, let's start with you. There have been some irate customers at your restaurant. How has your staff reacted to dealing with that?
Like overall, it's been okay. Luckily, like 95% of the people are fine. Like they come in, they'll give their information they need, but then you have that 1 or 2 people that will be very confrontational. They'll be screaming. They'll try videotaping and trying to coerce the staff to serve them. I had one lady crying because a gentleman was swearing at her. Like it's been a challenge, but we're dealing with it.
And what do you tell your staff?
It's like coaching them. It's just like, don't take it personally. Just try to tell them it's not our rule that we're making. It's a rule that the government's making us do to try to keep everybody safe. And so ultimately, that's the message we try to convey to, like, don't be mad at us. Like, we're just doing what we've been told to do.
And Devin, you're in Spruce Grove, Alberta. Those of us outside of Alberta have certainly seen the dire stories, news stories. We had some tonight about the situation in your province. What has it been like in terms of customer interactions at your restaurant?
It's not good from either direction. We're kind of put in the position to be the bad guys. And it's hard enough to get customers as it is without having to tell, a certain part of them that they can't come in. So we've just decided to close our dine-in.
So that's got to be tough. So you're closing your dine-in. You don't have anybody inside your restaurant. So do you have an outdoor patio, or is it only takeout? How's that working?
We have an outdoor patio, but let's be honest, it's, almost October in Alberta. So an outdoor patio is kind of a joke at this point, just like it was having patios at the beginning of April when it was snowing. So it's not a real solution by any means.
And what sort of situations, or give me an example of a situation that you were involved in or your staff was involved in that led you to decide to shut down the indoor dining?
Honestly, a lot of it was just how we felt. We didn't want to alienate customers that we've been trying to gain since this whole thing started. We opened our doors during COVID, so we haven't been able to run our business like a normal business this entire time. So making, a lot of our customers upset, we weren't wanting to be a part of that.
So from 2 restaurants, let's go to a bowling alley now. Chris McIntosh in Fredericton. Tell us about your experience in terms of dealing with customers. Have you had to turn anybody away?
Yeah, our experience has been largely positive and nothing too extreme on the negative side. It's more just a case of, like he was saying, when you get people in the door, having to turn them away for any reason is very unfortunate, but we haven't had any severe negative backlash. People tend to understand. Some just have forgotten their documentation or have, for whatever reason, believed it was okay to be single vaccinated. But by and large, the bulk of our league play and everything has been unaffected. Almost everybody who bowls here appears to be vaccinated, so no issue.
By the way, somebody in one of the lanes there, maybe 2 behind you, seems to be having a really good round. So that's good. She's kind of cheering every once in a while. I see you have the plexiglass up there, but do you have fewer people in your alley than you normally would because of COVID?
Yes, so we have a 12-lane candlepin bowling alley here. We've converted it into 6 suites, each consisting of 2 lanes. They share a ball return, so our logic was essentially we didn't want to cram groups of strangers side by each in the lanes. We figured that would be a bit of an issue, and we did that middle of last summer after a brief closure following the March 15th shutdown in New Brunswick.
I have maybe about 30 seconds for each of you to answer this question. Jeremy, I'll begin with you and then go to the other two. Given the passport rules, given the state of COVID, how do you think business is going to look for you this fall?
I think the next coming months, like with the vaccination requirements, it'll be interesting to see how, like parties, especially for restaurants like ours, we normally have businesses that are going to go and have their Christmas parties or year-end parties, and we don't know how that's going to be affected with all these rules, because there's a lot of business places that aren't going to be fully vaccinated. We've had parties that have canceled because people haven't been fully vaccinated. So
yeah. And Devin, what about you? How do you think the fall is going to look?
Honestly, we've had to lay off staff 4 times now, and this kind of back and forth situation where we're open and closed and open and closed. We can't really get our feet underneath us, and this was our, running into our busy season right now. So if we can't get back to some sort of normalcy, I don't know what a lot of people are going to do.
Sorry to hear that. Chris?
COVID situation is worse it's been in New Brunswick, and because of the vaccine passport, we're able to stay open through all of this. The fall is our busiest season with league play, so we're optimistic.
Well, we obviously hope for the best for all of you and for the provinces as well, and I hope we can maybe check in with you a little bit later in the fall. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.
Next, a conversation about reconciliation and growing up Indigenous in this country.
I think it's taken me a lifetime to sort of process what I actually felt about that in the moment.
The national interview with Jesse Wente right after the break. Welcome back. Over his storied career, Jesse Wente has become one of Canada's most respected Indigenous voices. He's a well-known film critic, political commentator, and he's been a columnist for CBC Radio for more than 20 years. He's also Canada's first Indigenous chair of the Council for the Arts. Now he's telling his own story in Unreconciled, a memoir about finding his place as an Ojibwe man in Canada. Andrew caught up with Jesse in the Toronto neighborhood where he grew up.
Can we start, kind of the same way the book starts, right? Why are we here at this baseball diamond?
Well, I start the book talking about an experience I remember playing on this actual diamond right behind us. I was playing in the local softball league, and I was coming up the plate, and the kids on the other team made a noise, a cat call, as you often would hear at the baseball diamond. But this one was particularly, pardon the pun, reserved for me. They were war whooping. They were making this war whooping sound with their mouths.
Are you kind of clapping your hand against your mouth?
Yeah, you got it.
Right.
Ah, la, la. That's the exact thing they were doing.
Right.
If you can imagine an entire team doing it. For me, I think it was the first time I understood that who I was going to be understood by others differently than I was going to understand it, and that they already had a predetermined idea of who I was based on the fact that I was Indigenous. I think it's taken me a lifetime to sort of process what I actually felt about that in the moment. Obviously, I still feel things about it. It starts off the beginning of my book.
It's the first line, in fact. I remember the exact moment I learned I was an Indian. A twisted understanding of his place in the world when Jesse was just 10 years old, standing over home plate. But where was home exactly?
Even when it comes to you, yourself, the way you see yourself, your own Indigenous identity, it strikes me that you have a very complicated relationship with that identity. Is that fair to say?
Well, I called the book Unreconciled, so yes, might be the answer.
What's the core of that? What's the source of that complication?
One of the things I would say, Andrew, is that those complexities, those struggles, even at times, are a purposeful outcome of what Canada, colonialism has sought to do to Indigenous people, which is to make it a challenge to understand our identities, and more so make it a challenge for us to fully reconcile the belonging and kinship of our communities when we've been forcibly severed from them. You know, because listen, what are residential schools? What was the purpose of them? For sure, the purpose was for that generation that attended to ensure that they were distanced from their family, that they learned a different language than maybe the one they grew up with. But it was also to ensure that I wouldn't know my language, to ensure that my children and their children wouldn't know it either, that these connections would be broken to the community, to our culture, to our language, to the land, most importantly, that so down the road, Canada wouldn't have to worry about Indigenous peoples because there aren't any anymore.
Can I ask you just to read a small part of this while we're talking about your family?
Sure.
Just from there, what does that say?
I think of Norma every day. I feel an enormous obligation to do right by her, an obligation I believe the rest of this country should feel as well. And I know at a deep level that everything she lost, everything my family lost, can never be replaced. I'm trying to live a life that honors hers. She is owed that and so much more.
There's that word again, obligation.
Yeah.
Right? The obligation you feel to your grandmother,
yeah,
to your family, to your community, but also that you feel the country should also have a sense of, right? Have that feeling. Can you explain that part of it to me?
The country is a weight for many of us. It's like a blanket that we have to carry. And I would suggest Indigenous people carry maybe the heaviest of parts of this blanket for the country. But a lot of folks don't carry it at all. They walk on top of this blanket, only adding to the burden.
So on that question,
yeah,
the subject of reconciliation.
Sure.
I mean, the book is called Unreconciled.
Yeah.
Reconciliation is a word or a buzzword, perhaps, that we've heard an awful lot of. You know, maybe particularly from our re-elected Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. You're laughing. Why is that?
Because he's just the leader of a party. So like, it's not like I singled him out, because it wasn't a single party that ruled over the entirety of the residential school system.
Right.
It wasn't a single party that has reigned since then and not done a lot about it, about the legacy, right? So judging one political party, like, it's a shell game. Because what we're fundamentally, in the end, trying to reconcile is Canada itself, the thing, the state. The country was formed without our inclusion. It was formed without it. We're still struggling in 2021 with that reality.
Knowing the constraints that you've outlined of the system and the system in which we're operating, what does the realist in you tell you is the way forward? What do we do from this point on?
I'm not sure I have an answer for Canada. And I'm not sure it's my job to have an answer for Canada.
Right.
But certainly what I would see is that I'm increasingly interested in making sure Indigenous people, that we invest in ourselves, that we get the state to invest in us, that my message to the state would be to invest in our success in the same way that Canada has historically invested in taking our land, our culture, and our language and our communities from us. Because I firmly believe that the future of Canadian success is inextricably intertwined with the future of Indigenous peoples and our future success, as it has always been. And the understanding that that is the way it is and has to be is what this country ultimately has to come to grips with. And when it does, it will realize that investing in us, making sure we're healthy, happy, has always been the actual secret to Canada. You know, you asked me what the future was. I know sort of what the future is for Indigenous folks, because it's the same as the past. This is the trick we can play. It's not a trick though, it's just truth, which is, well, we were here before, we'll be here after.
Jesse, Thanks so much for the conversation.
Thank you so much for the time, Andrew. Miigwech.
Next, Broadway is back, and so is a hit Canadian production.
You are here at the sign of a moment.
We'll look at the excitement, but also how COVID is not far away, right after the break. A Canadian blockbuster is leading the way in the Big Apple as Broadway stages its grand reopening this fall. But as Chris Reyes shows us, theater's big comeback comes with significant changes and a few stumbles along the way.
You are here at the sign of a moment.
This song from Come From Away might as well be talking about Broadway's big reopening, a moment worth 18 months of desperate waiting. The show's cast is now reunited, rehearsing for their live shows.
You just love telling stories, and you love connecting with people and feeling like you have purpose. And I felt a little, again, unmoored, like sort of like drifting, and now I feel like I'm coming home.
It was March 2020 when former Governor Andrew Cuomo first announced that Broadway would be shut down. No one could have predicted back then that the theater would go dark for so long.
The first time I sat in the theater, like, it was emotional, powerful, just to see performers on a live stage again. Took my breath away.
Robert Gardner traveled all the way from California to watch 5 Broadway shows.
It's very symbolic, and really it was the dinner bell that we were waiting for to signify New York's comeback.
A safety officer in each show checking full vaccination status is just one of the many changes to the theater experience. Kids who can't get the shot must show a negative test. Everyone who works on Broadway must be fully vaccinated and tested twice a week. The process hasn't been without hurdles. This week, Aladdin had to cancel a show because of breakthrough COVID cases in their cast. Still, in Times Square, there seems to be pent-up energy for Broadway, despite the challenges.
There is certainly a kinetic energy. You feel the motion of Times Square as you walk through it. You see the vibrancy growing every minute.
An estimated $1.8 billion was lost just in ticket sales during the pandemic shutdown. For those who work on Broadway, it's never been more true that the show must go on.
Welcome to the Rock!
The plan is to have 38 shows running by year's end. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
Makes me smile every time. Next, we meet the man who helped 7 beached whales back into the water.
At times, I was literally swimming. I mean, I was up to my neck in water.
This animal lover's determination is our moment after this. Ryan Collier, a resource enforcement officer from Newfoundland, took swift action last week to rescue 7 beached, long-finned pilot whales. Nothing could stop him. It took him hours to free the whales, and his efforts are tonight's moment.
It was approximately 9 o'clock Wednesday morning, and I received a call from a town worker of Embry. And he just stated that there was a pod of beach whales. It's not part of my job. So anyway, it was only 10 minutes away, so I went down. When I arrived, there was one young cat that was indeed deceased, but you could tell the whole pod was just struggling. I just couldn't sit back and watch these poor animals, suffer any longer. So I just started pushing, pulling the whales, trying to roll them over. Total of probably like 3.5 hours I spent into the water, and at times I was literally swimming. I mean, I was up to my neck in water, and I was exhausted after the first half hour, 40 minutes. I didn't know really what to do, but I just couldn't give up. It was just me being an animal lover. It doesn't matter what animal it is, and I honestly didn't think that me alone, I was going to get any whales freed from the beach, and just seeing one by one. I mean, it was pretty amazing to see.
Okay, Ryan, you are resourceful, you are thoughtful, and you're understated. Up to his neck in cold water for what, like more than an hour? And by the last one, he needed help from some people because that last whale was really heavy. Anyway, well done. That is the National for October the 1st. Remember, you can join me Sunday afternoon for Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio 1, and later that night back here for the National. Good night.